Right, I had a question from one of our members in our Telegram group, and she asked about how can she calculate pips from an instrument, a currency pair. So this is going to be a quick video to just show you quickly how to do that. So there are easy ways to do it, but before I go the easy way, I always like to talk about the concept first, so that folks can understand. So for you to calculate pips for currency pairs, now when I say currency pairs, it's just currencies. Now there are other things and other ways to consider it when you look at things like metals. So when you talk of gold or indices, so those are slightly different because those are, we talk about points with them. But with currency pairs, which is what this video really is going to be about, we talk about pips, and then we look at how you actually calculate pips. But before we understand how to do that, there are three things I'm going to show you or talk about. Then I can kind of draw it out to make it a bit, hopefully make it a bit better for you to understand. So when you look at currency pairs, like you can see my market watch here, you can see there are currency pairs here. Yeah, for the sake of calculating pips, we group currency pairs into JPY pairs and non-JPY pairs, and you'll see why that's important to understand this. So there are non-JPY pairs and there are JPY pairs. So what do I mean by that? AUD USD has no JPY, so it's just AUD and USD in the pair. So it's a non-JPY pair. Euro USD is the same thing. GBP USD is the same thing. But when we get to USD JPY, you can see that this contains a JPY, so it's a JPY pair. AUD JPY is a JPY pair. Euro AUD is non-JPY. Euro card is non-JPY. So bear that in mind, that the way we calculate pips for non-JPY and JPY are slightly different. And so that's the first thing. The other thing is when you look at the price. So again, you can look at the market watch and you can see the price here. So you can either have the bid or the ask price, but that's the price. Now what do you notice? On the non-JPY pairs, you can see on this platform, you can see from the decimal point, so the digits after the decimal point. If you look at that 0 point, then how many digits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for non-JPY pairs, you will notice that they are 5 digits after the decimal point. And for the JPY pairs, if you take a look, you can also see after the decimal point there are 1, 2, 3. So what do you notice there now? That for the non-JPY pairs, that there are 5 digits after the decimal point, and for JPY pairs there are 3 digits after the decimal point. So bear that in mind. It will help to in the calculation of pips. All these things are not, there are easy ways to do this, but you need to understand this foundational basic have this basic understanding, as it were. So the third thing I would like to then talk about is where I have the non-JPY pairs as 5 digits after the decimal point, so 5 decimal places. In the past, when Forex trading all started, those currency pairs used to be just 4 decimal places. 4 decimal places. And pips are calculated based on, for the non-JPY, based on the 4th decimal place. And for the JPY pairs, the pip is calculated from the 2nd decimal place. So because back in the days, for the JPY pairs, there used to be only 2 decimal places. Now we have 1/10 of a pip, which is what makes it the 5 decimal places. Now don't get carried away by some of these these words that might sound technical, but you've got to understand the concept. So those are the three things I wanted to let you know, that for you to calculate pips, you've got to consider non-JPY pairs and JPY pairs, right? And then you then need to also consider that on the platform, most platforms right now in 2021 will either have for non-JPY pairs 5 decimal places, and JPY pairs it will be 3 decimal places. And then the third point is to calculate pips. We will look at, for non-JPY pairs, the 4th decimal place, and for JPY pairs, the 2nd decimal place. Okay, so I'm just going to run some examples now. So let's say we have GBP USD as an example, and you can see right now GBP USD has a bid price of 1.39297. 1.39297. So the current bid price is 1.39297, something like that. Doesn't really matter. Yeah. So what do we have here now? That's the first decimal place, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. But to calculate pips, we have to look at and start counting from the 4th decimal place. Yeah. When I talk about the counter, I always remember, I don't know if you have seen counters like most of us have, counters like this. So when you start counting on this and it starts counting up, it starts from, you can see these zeros here. This 0 is 1, 2, 3, then this is the counter. So the next number up will be 3, next number up 4, 5, 6, but it just counts up. So that's how we actually look at pips, as it were, on the non-JPY pairs. So when you look at that, it will mean that for me to move 1 pip up, from 1.39297, if I'm going to move 1 pip up, what's that going to be? It means that that's going to be 1.39307. That's 1 pip up because I added 1 to this, and you add 1 to this, it becomes 30, but you still keep the 5th decimal place. So in reality, to make it easy for you, just discount this, the 5th decimal place, and just leave it as the 4 decimal places. It makes it easy for you to count. So if I had a number like on another currency pair, and let's just assume that it is 1.5248. yeah, 4 decimal places, non-JPY pair. If I'm going to go down 1 pip down, it will be 1.5247. If I was going to go 4 pips down, it means that will be 1.5244. That is 4 pip down. That's what that simply means. Yeah, so that's how you calculate. So you just keep counting up. Yeah, and you need to be able to know how to do this, do these numbers. So a quick way to then work this out is, if my entry price, so what does that mean? If my entry price, so let's say my entry price on a trade, on a buy trade, is buy entry price is 1.2247. yeah, and I wanted to take profit at 15 pips as an example, and I want my stop loss to be 10 pips. What will those numbers be? What would those price be? Price levels be? It means that what I need to do for my TP, because this is a buy trade, if I buy here, I want price to go up, so my TP will be somewhere up. So that's the entry, and my stop loss will be somewhere lower. That's what a buy trade is in a buy situation, right? So 15 pips will then be me adding 15 pips to 1.22, so 1.2247. 15 pips will be 0.00. Remember, counter 15 pips, and so that will be essentially, again, nothing stops you from using your calculator. Use it. Don't try to rack your brain. If you like the math, if you like to rack your brain, it's fine. 2247 plus 0.0015. Enter that. So the answer to that will be 1 point. Oops, where is my calculator? I want to put it here. It says 1.2262. So that will be my TP price, and then my stop loss will be equivalent to 1.2247 minus 10 pips, which is 0.0010. That's 10 pips for a non-JPY, and so that will be equivalent to 1.2247 minus 10 pips, 0.0010. That's my 10 pips. Enter. So my stop loss essentially will be equivalent to 1.2237. That's it. That's what it is. I hope that makes sense. So this price here will be 1.2237. The entry price is 1.2247, and the TP price is 1.2262. And what we know now is that this is equivalent to 15 pips, and this is equivalent to 10 pips. So that's your risk, and that's your take profit. Okay, and that's your reward. So risk and reward. Okay, that's for a non-JPY pair. So when we're looking at a JPY pair, then it will be slightly different, because then we're looking at 2 decimal places. So if we go to something like USD JPY, and let's say that the current, I have an entry price, or let's do this way. So USD JPY currently is 110.235. 110.235. Current price right now is 110.235. And if you remember, I said for the JPY pairs, you start to count. Remember our counter in non-JPY pairs, it is 4 decimal places. In JPY pairs, it is 2 decimal places. So you're looking at this 2 here, decimal places. You can discount this, or you can mark it up, round it up. Yeah, that's fine. So this you can either take this as 2-4. It's fine, because you're trying to count from here. So 1 pip up on this will be equivalent to, if I go up 1 pip up, let's just wipe this off here. So 1 pip up on this will be 110.25. That's 1 pip up. 1 pip. 1 pip down will be 110.23, because it's -1. 1 pip. If I do 10 pips from here, it will be 10 pips is 14. That is down 10 pips. And you could have used your calculator to do that without cracking your brain. 110.24 minus 10 pips in this case would be 2 decimal places. 0.10 is 10 pips. Enter. and it's 110.14. So that's it. That's how you calculate pips. So as an example again, if I have a JPY pair where the price is 110.287, and that's my entry price, right? And let's use a sell example in this case. So that's my entry price, and I want a TP of 25 pips and a stop loss of 15 pips. So if I want this situation here, it means that my entry price, sell entry price, will be what? 110.287. I can actually call that 29 just to make it easier. 29, right? So because I rounded up, that's why, to decimal places. So for a sell trade, my TP is going to be down here because I want price to come down. Yeah, and that means this is meant to be 15 pips. Yeah, this distance here is meant to be 15 pips, and the stop loss is this here, and the distance there, the distance here is 25 pips. Sorry for that mistake. And then here it is meant to be 15 pips. So what we want to do is to find out what that price is at 25 pips. So we're going to take away 25 from 110.29. So again, I will grab my calculator to do that work without cracking my brain too much. Okay, so 110 minus 29.29 minus 25 pips for a JPY pair will be 0.25 is 25 pips. So if I enter now, so my TP price will be 110.04. That's what my TP will be, and then my stop loss will be 110.29 plus 15 pips, which for a JPY pair is 2 decimal places, 15 pips. That will give me 110.44. 110.44. 110.44. So that's it. So that's how we set this. So calculating it, you need to understand this. So now quickly in the next 1 minute or so, I'll show you an easy way to also do that. So let's say I decide now that I want to sell based on, you can see this reversal pattern here. I'm not saying this is an opportunity, but this is a reversal pattern here. I've done no analysis here, you could have seen that. And so I want my entry to be about 2 pips below this, so somewhere around here is fine for me. And this is, I will be selling in this case, and I want to risk the height here from the entry. So all you need to do then is take your crosshair. So take the crosshair, boom, you can see the crosshair. Click at the level you want to measure from. Just click and hold, don't leave it. Click, hold, and then drag it up and come around here. You can see that cross there. That cross now tells me that that high there is about 15 pips. So you can see it's 15 pips, and you can also see the price there. So that 15 pips for 149. Remember, it's 3 decimal places on whether it's JPY pair or non-JPY pair. As long as it's a currency pair, you can see that 3-digit number there. It is because it's a 5-digit or 3-digit broker. So your pip really is 15.8 now. So I can actually make it anything 15.2. Yeah, and the price there is 1.39369. Then your take profit, you might want to do, since that one is 15, you might want to do 25. if price gets there, or 20 even. So 20 pips will be 1.39015. So those are those numbers now. So you can write those down, and you can then take the trade. You can then come on here and say, again, before you do this, you already know your stop loss is 15.2 pips. You can use the risk management tool and go 15.2, and it's GBP USD. And on this particular account, I want to risk only 1% of my account. I calculate. Okay, so 15.2 pips, we know that you calculate, and then your position size is 0.23. And so I can, which one was I using again? Yeah, this one here. Was this, wasn't it? It was this. And so I can come here now, new order, and go 0.23, 0.23, and I want to use the pending order, sell stop, and the entry price is 1.3922, and my stop loss, which is 15 pips, will be, we just did that with this here, 15.2 we did, and 1.39369, 1.39369, and then my take profit would have been, you said 20 pips, right? 1.39012, 1.39012. That's it. If I place this now, you can see now. Did I buy? Sell stop. TP. Oh no, I put it on the wrong place, you know. $15.2, 1.39369, 1.39369, 1.3936. I said 63. 369. That was where the mistake was from. Modify. So you can see that's it. I'm good to go in that trade. So that's how to calculate pips. I hope this is helpful, but do let us know if you have any questions. All right, until the next video, you take care. Cheers.